Hello, hello, hello. I am Alexis Nelson. I am your life coach. Thank you for joining me today on Evolve and Thrive Life Coaching Insights. We are in a series where we're talking about relationships. And if you have not been in tune with what we've been talking about, make sure you go back and look at some of the other uh, shows that we've done because we've had talked about a lot of things, but relationships is what we're talking about. And for those who are new to the show, if you want to learn more about what I do, I am a life coach. You can go to alexisnelson.us. Alexisnelson.us. That is the website where you can find out all of what I do. And if you want individual coaching, make sure you send me an email or go to the website and we can connect. Okay? Because I want all my life learners to live life on purpose. Why? Because you're worth it. So let's get to it. Today we are talking about nonverbal cues. And this is so essential when it comes to relationships, right? So I want us to understand we must pay attention to our body language and our tone of voice. And I want to give you some points on how nonverbal cues and building healthy relationships are connected. And so today we're going to start off with establishing trust. But wait a minute, life learners, I forgot to tell you to like and share. Like and share. And if you're watching the replay, make sure you like and share too. And drop your comments in the box if you have questions or you have something to say about one of the topics that I'm going to be discussing today as it pertains to nonverbal cues. So, establishing trust. Nonverbal cues such as monitoring or maintaining your eye contact and an open body posture and a warm tone of voice can foster trust in relationships. When individuals display positive nonverbal behaviors, it signals sincerity and and reliability, which are essential for building trust, right? So this is why we have to really pay attention to our body language. Have you ever been in a conversation with someone and you're talking to them and they're looking all over the place? They're not looking you directly in your eye. They're either on their phone, they're scrolling, or they may be just in space somewhere. We don't know where, Mars or Venus. I don't know. But when someone does that and you're really trying to communicate something to them, you're like, are you really paying attention to me? Because you are in Jupiter and you can't hear me in Jupiter. I need you to be right here, right? So it's important that we give eye contact and open body posture. If someone is talking to you and you're like this, it gives them the message like, I really don't want to be a part of this conversation. Can you please move on, move on? And so we have to be conscious of our body posture and also our tone of voice. They say something, you like, what you say? And they're like, what? Oh my God, I'm just trying to communicate how I feel to you, and you coming at me. And I don't like that. So we want to make sure that we are aware of those nonverbal cues because again, nonverbal cues and building healthy relationships are connected. And if we want healthy relationships, which we do, we want to be aware of our nonverbal cues because, again, it establishes trust. So that's number one. We're going to move on to the second point, which is emotional connection. All right, let's talk about it, life learners. Nonverbal cues play a significant role in establishing emotional connections with others. Expressive body language and the tone of voice conveys empathy, understanding, and support, which are fundamental for nurturing healthy relationships. So, let's talk a little bit about this emotional connection, right? And how your nonverbal cues really play a significant role in establishing those emotional connections. See, our body language and our tone of voice, right? And the empathy and understanding and support that comes with that, it really helps bridge the gap for someone who doesn't feel safe, right? So now when we're talking, I'm leaning in to you because I'm telling you with my nonverbals that what you're saying, it really matters to me. It does. It is important. It doesn't matter what else is going on around me. What in this moment, what you're saying is important. So now I'm building this emotional connection, right? And then my expressive body language. I didn't just slightly, I moved and you saw me come into you. And I'm giving you eye contact, remember, because I'm still working on those nonverbal cues. And I'm expressing to you in in empathy and understanding through my nonverbals. I don't even have to say a word. Or if you see someone at work, they're having an awful day, right? And here you come and you put your hand on their shoulder and you say, before the words come out, right? So they are hearing you say, I'm here. I understand. And here is this emotional connection, right? And this is important. This is help. This is what helps build relationships, honey. If you want a healthy relationship or you're having challenges in that area, you might want to take notes about right now. Okay? Because emotional connection can put you in a position where you have influence as well. But we won't even go there today. We're just going to stick with this, okay? So let's keep going. Our number three, effective communication. And this is what nonverbal cues do. It complements verbal communication, right? By adding depth to the message. Being attentive to body language and tone of voice allows individuals to better understand the emotions and intentions behind the words, leading to a clearer and more effective communication. Listen, I don't know how much I can say about being an effective communicator. And this is something that we have to really be intentional about too. This is something that can be taught and you can learn it like learners. But this is what nonverbal cues do. It complements the verbal communication. So I can say, girl, you look good today. And you really feel that because I didn't put all my head into it. I didn't move my hand. I didn't look at your outfit and went from the top to the bottom of it. And I said, you are looking good today. It complements my verbal communication. Or I could say, well done, honey. You did such a good job on that project. I am so proud of you. It complements the communication, right? And so this is another way nonverbals and relationships are connected. So let's keep it moving. Building rapport. This is one of my favorites. I tell people relationships, you cannot have a relationship if you don't build rapport. How is it that we're going to get to know one another if I don't get time to know you, right? So building rapport, this is another perk that nonverbal cues do. It contributes to the building rapport. It strengthens interpersonal bonds. So when individuals display open and inviting body language, along with a friendly tone of voice, it creates a welcoming environment where people feel valued and respected. This is important. Put a big like star next to this point. This is important. Rapport building is essential for any relationship, whether we're talking about nonverbal cues, whatever it may be. Rapport building is essential. That means you're taking time out to get to know people, and positive nonverbal cues contribute to that. So I'm seeing that you really are enjoying my company. So you're talking to me, and I'm like, yeah, and I'm smiling and my tone is warm. And so now you feel safe because now it creates this environment where I can talk to you and I can share some things with you in a safe environment. So that is another benefit of nonverbal cues. Another benefit of nonverbal cues, which is number 5, is resolving conflict. Nonverbal cues, believe it or not, can facilitate conflict resolution. Can somebody, are you picking up what I'm putting down? Okay. All right. I hope so. Because this is what nonverbal cues can do, life learners. It can help with resolving conflict. What it does, it promotes understanding and empathy between conflicting parties. Displaying a non-threatening body language and using a calm, again, we're back to this calm and respectful tone, life learners. It matters. And it can help de escalate tensions and find mutually agreeable solutions. Did you know? Listen, silence is powerful. Mhm. That's the nonverbal cue. Somebody, they are very upset. Say you're in a heated argument and they're trying to tell you that you messed up their project and you are just everything but everything, right? You're doing things just really out of order. So you're sitting there and you're saying not a word. You're not raising your tone. You're just listening and you're calm. That is a powerful tool of resolving conflict. Your nonverbal cue of I'm not getting, you don't see a raise in me, you don't see me getting angry, my face ain't all crunched up like I'm got smell something bad. No, you are calm, cool, and collective. And that nonverbal cue will definitely resolve conflict. And this is something, honey, we all have to work on because somebody will make you upset. You ready to go in, but you can't eat people up like a whole cheeseburger. You have to maintain your cool because this is a part of resolving conflict. And our next tip, number 6, is perception of support. Hmm. This is another one of my favorites because my trade is social work. This is something that we do quite often when we're working with our clients. Nonverbal cues such as nodding, smiling, and using a reassuring tone of voice signals support and encouragement. When individuals feel supported through positive and nonverbal behaviors, they are more likely to reciprocate and strengthen the relationship. Have you ever been in a conversation, say you're at work, okay, and you're telling someone like, I'm really having a hard day today. I'm trying to complete this project, but it seems like I have project on top of project. I don't have enough time, and I don't know what to do. It's causing me a little anxiousness. I just feel overwhelmed, and the person is looking at you like a dead in headlights. They're not nodding. They're not saying, "Okay, I understand." They're just like, and you're like, wait a minute. I'm over here having a mental breakdown and you're just staring at me. I don't get a nod. I don't get a, it's going to be okay. Nothing. So this is what nonverbal cues help with. It gives a perception of support. People want to feel like you're supporting them when they're talking to you. People want to feel like you're supporting them when they're going through a situation. And this is what nonverbal cues do. It helps with the perception of support. All right, love learners, are you with me? If you're with me, I want you to make sure that you can write down these different tips and you can go back over it. And for those who are just tuning in or you're watching the replay, make sure that you like and share. We are so excited about Life Learners joining us because guess what? When you join us, you are growing up and we are all about evolving and thriving. So let's get it to it. Let's go to our tip number 7, which is cultural sensitivity. This is important because we all have different body language, nonverbals, and different isms, I like to say, that we do in our culture. And we have to be aware of cultural differences because, especially in nonverbal communication, it's essential for building healthy relationships across diverse backgrounds. Understanding how different cultures interpret body language and tone of voice, it helps avoid misunderstandings and it fosters cultural sensitivity. Different cultures have different ways of expressing themselves. I know, I remember this is way, way early back in my career, not even before my career really jumped off, right? So I was working in a school and it was predominantly, it didn't have a lot of minorities in it, let me say that. And so it was very challenging for them to really understand how this particular population communicated. So I'm sitting there, and this young lady is expressing to me very colorful and vibrant. Yes, her voice was loud, but this is how she expressed herself. She wasn't trying to attack me. It wasn't that. She was just very passionate about what she was trying to communicate, right? And so the principal was standing next to me and she was like, "Should I call security? Should I call security?" And I'm like, "No, she's fine. She's not going to hurt me. This is just her way of expressing herself and she's passionate about it." And so learning cultural differences on how we communicate, even verbally and non verbally, can really help tone down those misunderstandings. And so this is why we have to be aware. And this is what um, I like to tell people, be aware of the different nonverbal cultural differences because there are. And we want to make sure that we're not being offensive to those who we may not know much about their culture. Okay. So, another thing, number 8, is building self awareness. This is a good one. I'm telling you, paying attention to your own nonverbal cues, that is crucial for building healthy relationships. Self awareness allows individuals to recognize how their body language and tone of voice impact others and make necessary adjustments to improve communication and interpersonal connections, right? So we have to be self aware. This is really important because I'm guilty. I'm guilty. My nonverbals are off the chain, life learners. If something doesn't sound right, I may kind of look at you like, and so I have to be really aware of what I'm saying with my face and that it's matching with what I'm saying out my mouth. Because people look at your nonverbals to kind of fill you out to see where you are. And I'm very good at masking that at times because of my profession. That's what I have to do. However, there are some times when I'm like, what? And I can't do that because that can really hinder someone's relationship with you, especially in a professional setting. If you're at work and your boss says something to you that's sideways that you don't like, and you kind of look at them with that stink face, that's not good, honey. You might get yourself fired. So you want to make sure you control those emotions, control the facials, because I'm telling you, I did. I had to get a lot of deliverance from the facial expressions. So you have to be self aware because this can either hinder or promote your relationship. Also, tip number 9, creating positive impressions. Positive nonverbal cues contribute to creating favorable impressions in initial interactions and ongoing relationships. Displaying confident body language and using a warm and engaging tone of voice can leave a lasting positive impression on others. Listen, for all those out there looking for a job, you want to make sure that you leave a positive impression. Do not come to the interview slouched down like you're uninterested, or this is one of my favorites, doing one of these numbers. No, you want your nonverbals to leave a favorable impression. Can you say favorable impression? Because your initial interactions with people, listen, when you come back for that second interview, what is going to set you apart? They're going to remember your colorful self. Like you all into what they're saying. So make sure that you leave a positive impression with your nonverbals. Do not give the stink face on an interview. Please and thank you. That will not be good for you. And I'm going to end with number 10. It promotes cooperation and collaboration. Nonverbal cues such as mirroring, which involves subtle matching the body language and tone of voice of others, can promote cooperation and collaboration. When individuals synchronize their nonverbal behaviors, it fosters a sense of unity and teamwork, strengthening relationships in the process. Listen, have you ever had a coworker that she was just so in tune because she knew your nonverbals and you all worked together to be able to get a project done? This is life right here, honey. You want to get to this level where you can promote cooperation and collaboration with your nonverbals. This is also something that husband and wives have. I can look at my husband and he can look at me and I can know exactly what he's saying without us saying a word. And it's so cool because we can still synchronize our nonverbal behaviors and you'll see the unity amongst us and it helps strengthen the relationships. So this is essential, okay? So make sure again you write down all of these tips that I gave and I'm just going to go over them one more time for those who just came in and they would sleep. And I want to make sure that they don't miss it. Okay. We're talking about nonverbal cues today. And so the first one we said was establishing trust. All right. Number two, emotional connection. And number three, effective communication. That's a good one. Number four, building rapport. Number five, resolving conflict. Number six, perception of support. Number seven, cultural sensitivity. Number eight, building self awareness. Number nine, creating positive impressions. Remember, you want to get that job, honey. And number 10, promoting cooperation and collaboration. Listen, life learners, today we talked about nonverbal cues and how they are connected to relationships. This series is about building healthy relationships, establishing them in your workplace, in your personal life, with your family members, your loved ones. This is what we're talking about, relationships, building them, making them conducive for growth. And I'm telling you, as you write these down, I want you to go back and look over them and see which one speaks to you. For me, I have to always monitor those expressions, right? Those nonverbals, because I don't want to send the wrong message. So you can jot something in the comments and let me know what you thought about today's session. And also, if you had any questions or any feedback on one of those points that we talked about today. Again, I'm Alexis Nelson. I am your coach. I am with Coaching Towards Purpose, but you are joining us today on our podcast, which is Evolve and Thrive Life Coaching Insights. Make sure you like and share, and make sure if you are just watching the replay, make sure you like and share too. Because listen, I want all. Let me tell you one more time, all my life learners to live life on purpose. Why? Because you're worth it. Again, thank you for joining me. Don't forget, alexisnelson.us is where you can find information about individual coaching or group coaching. So make sure you go to the website. And also, if you need to email me, you can email me at iamalexisnelson@gmail.com. Well, life learners, it's time for me to go. But I will see you next Saturday. You all have a good one.